All right, good evening, everyone. Welcome to this virtual college exploration for all Ohio students, sponsored by the Ohio Association for College Admission Counseling and StriveScan. Thank you for joining us. A few housekeeping announcements before we get started. At the bottom of your Zoom, you will see a Q&A function to ask any questions. Your camera and microphone will be off, so please use that Q&A button to type in any questions you have. And please visit our website, oacac.org, to sign up for more of these sessions that are happening in the coming days. And that same site is where you will be accessing the recordings for this session. So with that, I will hand it over to our presenters tonight, Laura and Brandon. Show is yours, guys.
Thank you so much, Michael, for that intro and welcome. Welcome all. My name is Brandon with PIA, the Pittsburgh Institute of Aeronautics. And simply stated, what we do at PIA is we prepare and propel students into careers in the industries of aviation, aerospace, and beyond. Ranked Forbes #1 two-year trade school, PIA provides an elite and unique educational opportunity that not many other colleges or educational institutions can offer by allowing our students the ability to live out the lessons they learn by working on actual aircraft and aviation equipment, a wonderful way that we find students flourish in our program and also are properly prepared for the industry. Our programs culminate in students having a chance to test for and obtain their FAA, Federal Aviation Administration certification. That would be their airframe and power plant certification, and or their FCC, Federal Communication General Radio Telephone Operator's license. A wonderful culmination to our program that goes even beyond the education. With that said, what I would love to do is share my screen with you very quickly as we lead in today. But before I do that, what I think would be even better, because she is waiting in the wings with wonderful insight, and we have a very homegrown local experience for you all because we have a branch campus in Youngstown, Ohio, and joining us today is our Youngstown, Ohio branch campus admissions representative, Laura Yankish. And Laura will fill you in on some of the details of our Youngstown campus. Laura.
Thank you, Brandon. Thank you so much for that introduction. Hi, I'm Laura. I go out to all the schools in Ohio, and I basically talk about our program that we offer at the Youngstown Vienna campus. Before we start into the program though, I'd like to talk a little bit about our school at the Youngstown Vienna campus. First of all, it's absolutely beautiful. We just remodeled that facility and it's a brand new campus. We are located right across from the Air Reserve Station. And if you know anything about the military, the C-130s are housed there. Those are those big, clunky, oversized planes. Again, we are located right across the runway from there. What's interesting about our program at Youngstown is we do 3 starts a year. We take 50 students at a time, and we have only 150 students total in this school. Also, I want to let you know this is a 16-month program. 16 months from 8 to 2:30. You test for your airframe, you test for your power plant, and you walk out with a federal government license to touch anything in this country that flies. Airplane, helicopter, drones, and blimps. I also want to let you know in my industry, it's called the golden ticket. So again, we're going to explain the program a little bit, but I want that student, if you're sitting there and you like to work with your hands, if you're thinking about going into engineering, if, you know, when you were little and you played with Legos, if you like to put a puzzle together, this industry might be for you. So Brandon, with that, maybe we could show a little bit about our school and what we have to offer.
I would love to do that, Laura, and you came with some amazing info, whether it be for the Youngstown Branch Campus program, 16 months, so an accelerated program that a student can come into and become a graduate and hit that workforce, for example, if they're coming out of high school, before or right at about 20 years old is an amazing opportunity. I love how you say build things, take them apart. I like the term tinkerer. And that's what we're looking for at our school. People who not only see technology and are excited about it, but start to think beyond it. How it works, how could I improve it, fix it, repair it? That's the kind of student that we're looking for, that not only wants to learn, but wants to experience by working with their hands. And that is what our program is set up to do. With that said, I would love to share my screen with you to share some amazing info on PIA. So right off the bat, PIA has been in existence for over 90 years. So we are unique in what we do, and perhaps you're hearing about us for the first time, but we have a long-running history, which I will get into. What I will do right now, because perhaps some of you have schedule obligations that will not allow you to be here for the entirety of this presentation, which is fine, but I want to provide that next steps you could take. You could scan that QR code or type in your browser pia.edu/learn more. You will see a drop-down menu. You can pick today's event. It'll be Strive Scan OACAC with today's date. Even if you're watching this in a recording, you can by all means do that. If the event is no longer there, you can just select me or Laura's face from a drop-down menu, and it just lets us know where you're coming from for information. And we'd love to have someone reach out to you, one, to personalize a question you have, two, to invite you for a socially distanced personal tour, you and your family, or to an open house, whether it be virtual or in person, which sets me up wonderfully for an opportunity I want to let you know about that goes on right now during this presentation. We want you to be the driver, or perhaps I should say the pilot in our terminology. So at any point during this presentation, there is a Q&A box that you'll see if you hover your mouse over the center of your screen. You can type a question in. We will not read your name, but if the question is general and we find appropriate for everyone, we'll read it and address it in the moment. So I've worked with Laura. She'll just politely interrupt me with whatever I'm saying, because I want to address your questions and really personalize this to you, because the goal of today is you to have educational exploration of the amazing opportunity that PIA is. I'm going to share some great insight and information with you, but whatever question pops in your head, by all means, you can ask it. And no worries if you're like me and the presentation ends and 5 questions pop in your head afterwards. That's a great reason to take that next step, because we would love to have an admission representative reach out directly to you and answer any of those questions in a personalized way. So we have campuses. Our main campus is in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. We also have campuses in Hagerstown, Maryland, and Youngstown, Ohio, as well as Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. But today we're focused on Youngstown, Ohio, which for most of you, I imagine, watching this, would be our closest campus to all of you all. Wonderfully just went through a renovation and a great opportunity. And that's something that you can explore. And by all means, if you want to tour one of our campuses and you are in Ohio, you could go right down to the Youngstown campus. If you decide that another campus is more apt to you, really our branch campuses offer the same programs, just a matter of location. That's not a problem. I'd encourage you to go down to that Youngstown campus, because no matter what I share with you today, there is no substitute for walking into the campus, going in the hangar, and seeing the aircraft. Laura, do you agree? I mean, that's one of my favorite spots to see a student's face when they come on campus.
Absolutely. Our campus that houses all our aircraft is absolutely beautiful. I want to let you know, though, that Youngstown Vienna campus, we have students from Akron, Canton, Cleveland. Some of our students drive an hour and a half one way just to get to our school. And a lot of them, again, they'll get apartments. When you come into our school, we start, I told you, around 50 students at a time. We do 3 starts a year. You become friends with these students. And a lot of them end up getting apartments together. A lot of them end up driving together. So please, let that area of Youngstown, Vienna area, please look it up, research it, because it is viable to drive back and forth if you are in the Akron, Canton, Cleveland area. Remember, this is only a 16-month program. Go ahead, Brandon.
Because we want you to absolutely enjoy your education, But there is an end goal to education, and that is to have employment that you can take pride in, that can properly provide for you and your family. And one of the greatest gifts we can give ourselves, in my opinion, outside family, friends, things of that nature, is to find enjoyment in your employment. And that's what today's about. We're going to share some stuff because people in these industries are extremely passionate about what they do. They come home from work and are excited about the projects that they got to work on. And that's a little what I want to share with you today. So one thing I have to share, because I'm of course proud of this, is we are ranked Forbes #1 two-year trade school 3 years running. And that's based off a multitude of factors that you'll see right there. A whole separate Forbes article did a ranking based off how much tuition an entire program costs versus how much income those graduates make. And PIA ranked in the top 7% of colleges in the country, not trade schools, colleges, Harvard, Yale, UCLA in that group. So an amazing opportunity for students to come in and get the training because of the demand in the industry to really have a career that they can flourish in, grow in, and can provide for them financially, while also, hopefully, in my eyes, providing an aspect of excitement, pride, purpose, and prestige in what they do to really enjoy getting up and going to work, which, like I said, I think is one of the greatest gifts we can give ourselves. With that said, I've talked about some of our final destinations, and I love to share PIA alumni spotlights with you, not only because we are proud of our graduates, but also because it personalizes what I'm talking about in a way that you can look to one of our alumni spotlights and say, wow, I perhaps want to travel down a similar path, as students like Chris, who I'll speak about, are just a few years ahead of you. Once they were sitting in a high school class or at a career event like this, career college event like this, wondering what their next step was. So the PIA alumni spotlight I would love to share with you today is that of Chris Hoffman, who is currently employed as the launch operations director at Astra Aerospace. But I have to also mention, this summer we honored Chris and his contributions while he worked at SpaceX, because he worked on the Falcon 9 rocket, which was used in this summer's SpaceX launch. So Chris is an amazing example of someone who identified a passion for using a combination of his intelligence and technical skills to literally help humanity forge forward. So Chris, we honor your contributions to SpaceX. We're excited what you're doing with Astra Aerospace. They just recently had a launch from Alaska. Chris doesn't live in Alaska, but that was their launch base, and he oversees all their launches over there. So an exciting opportunity. And in that same vein, I should mention that PIA graduates have gone on to work for aerospace organizations like NASA, SpaceX, Aerojet Rocketdyne, for technology companies like Pratt & Whitney, Lockheed Martin, for airlines like Boeing, Delta, American, Piedmont, just to name a few. So there is a wide variety of paths that one can take within the fields of aviation and aerospace. One of the opportunities that prepared Chris for his career and that we offer at PIA is for our students, not graduates, I said students, while still in our program, they can compete in the AMC, the Aerospace Maintenance Competition. The best way I could describe this, if you're not familiar, take Skills USA in high school and take it to a professional collegiate level. I mean, they televise this, they put this on YouTube, it gathers hundreds of thousands of views from people outside the industry, just as the Olympics of aerospace engineering, maintenance, repair. They literally have competitions that not only schools, but airlines and aerospace companies will send teams to compete in. And as you can see, PIA has done pretty well. Not only is this an amazing pride point for our students to compete in, to share with their families their accomplishment, but what an amazing thing to put on their resume. 2 years ago, it was held in Atlanta, Georgia. This past year, it was held in Orlando, Florida. And an amazing event, kind of like the Super Bowl of aerospace. But as you're gonna find with me today and Laura, we love to talk about PIA and tell you about the opportunities, but we're kind of hands-on learners ourselves, so we'd much rather show you. So this is PIA's participation in the last few AMC competitions.
I can't believe how big this place is and how many people we've seen and how many people we've met. The experience is awesome.
I love to share and show that because it gives you a little glimpse into some of the amazing opportunities that our students are provided while in our program. While the goal is, of course, to get out with that education and training to land that dream job, there's also some amazing opportunities that students get to encounter while in our program. The next question I always receive is, what does it look like to be a student at PIA? What we are not is a traditional four-year school where you're going to see huge lecture halls and teachers giving long lectures. Nothing wrong with that. Explore your options. But what we are is a hands-on training facility where we have our education built off hands-on training. Literally, like I said, living out the lessons you learn with our students working on aircraft. Where I've had so many students tell me they didn't even know if furthering their education past high school was right for them until they came across a program like ours that marries that technical skill and intelligence. Now, I don't want to mislead you. By all means, there is a theoretical foundation to what our students do, and there is classroom time to what they do, but roughly 60% of the time, if not more, they are in our hangar working on aircraft and equipment. What I would like to do next is show you what a day in the life of a PIA student looks like, because I showed you some pictures and perhaps they got you excited, but like I said, I want you to experience, if you walked on campus, walked in our hangar, what it would look like to see our students getting to.
And after that, Brandon, I have a question for you.
Oh, that sounds perfect. We'll watch this video, Laura, and then I would love to get that question because I think I have one I want to ask you as well that kind of popped in my mind.
Fine.
I told you at any point we are going to stop and address your questions because that is what I care about most. Laura, what question did we have come in?
The first question I had come in was from Cameron, and he said, I'm just an average student with average grades. I've always dreamt of being in the aeronautic industry. I don't have a lot of experience working with airplanes. Will I be able to go through the program?
Laura, that is a great question, and that is actually one that I was going to bring up to you. So the great thing at PIA, if anything I said enticed you, interested you, or sparked a passion in you, that is what we are looking at as a pre-qualifier. What we are here to do is equip people and prepare them for this field. So simply, the answer is no. It's wonderful if you have some kind of mechanical background and have identified that passion, but you need zero mechanical technical experience to enter in our program. That is what we are here for, to fill in the gaps for you and provide that education and training. So really the pre-qualifier that I or PIA is looking for is you to have some level of passion and interest in exploring PIA and aviation, aerospace, or some of the industries that you might not realize that our graduates get into that I'll touch on shortly. But absolutely not. I'm looking for students that are excited to enter into this educational and career path. No mechanical background necessary.
Wonderful, wonderful answer, Brandon. Also, I'd like to say just a little bit with that. we will train you what you need to know at PIA, Pittsburgh Institute of Aeronautics. So again, any other questions, please type them in, please ask, because we will answer them for you.
Absolutely, we are happy to. With that, I will dive right back in to what I want to share and show you today. So you got to see a little bit of what it looks like to be a student at PIA, working hands-on on aircraft, helicopters, aviation equipment, but what do we offer at PIA? So at PIA, we offer two programs, and I'm speaking PIA as a whole, then we're gonna focus today on our Youngstown campus, but we offer Aviation Maintenance Technology and Aviation Electronics Technology, more commonly referred to as Avionics. So in our Avionics program, that is only offered in our Pittsburgh campus as an associate in degree in specialized technology program, which is 21 months in length, only offered at our Pittsburgh main campus. But what that will roll us into is the next program that Laura is offered at our branch campus in Ohio that I would love for you to touch on.
Sure, that program is the diploma certification. It's the FAA Airframe Power Plant Certification. Again, this is a 16-month program, 8 to 2:30. And within that 16 months, you will test for your airframe, you'll test for your power plant, and you literally walk out with a federal government license to touch anything that flies in this country. I get excited about talking about this program because I know some of you are sitting there thinking, well, you know, my parents really want me to go to a 4-year college. I understand that. I have 2 children. I totally understand that. But if there's a student there thinking about, boy, I'd like to go into the engineering field. I'd like to be a part of this where they actually build the aircraft. That would be Boeing, Lockheed Martin. Again, I'd like to work in the maintenance end of this industry. I would just like to work on landing gear. What's interesting, there are all different avenues to go down once you have your airframe power plant certification. Boeing, Lockheed Martin, Gulfstream, Delta, American, Southwest, they all hire from us. So again, this is a path where you could look into and go into and actually interview for these different jobs. Now, we will not promise you a job, or we will not give you a job or hand you a job. You have to actually interview for these companies. But what I stress at the Youngstown school is this program moves quick, but boy, you walk out of this program after you test with your airframe and you test for your power plant, you walk out, we call it, I told you, the golden ticket. Brandon, would you like to explain a little bit about the 21-month program, the associate's degree down in Pittsburgh?
Absolutely. So that is something that you don't necessarily need to know right away. We have an amazing admissions team, as well as instructors and a career service team that all work together to set our students up for success. So if you're someone who's exploring PIA, you might not be sure if our associate degree program or our certification program is right for you. And that's a great opportunity to take those next steps in diving a little deeper into what is best for you, your path, and your goals. Just because we might have someone join us a little bit late, I'm going to reiterate something I said at the beginning. And PIA provides an elite and unique educational opportunity. We prepare and propel our students into the industries of aviation, aerospace, and beyond. And what I mean by that beyond, you're going to see shortly. Our programs are set up to have students be fully prepared for the industry, culminating, as Laura mentioned, with our aviation maintenance technology programs, with our students having the ability to test for and obtain their Federal Aviation Administration airframe and power plant certification. This is not given by PIA. This is given out by the FAA, which is their ability to work on aircraft, which makes them even more specialized. Now, if you entered our avionics program, that would be their FCC, Federal Communication Commission, General Radio Telephone Operator's License. We also do, which I have to bring up for the right student, It's 33 months in duration. It can be started at our branch campuses, but has to be completed at our Pittsburgh main campus because of the avionics aspect, which we call our dual ticket option, where students can actually train in both aviation maintenance and aviation electronics technology. And a lot of times these students are looked to first for some positions because of the wide variety of their education. But we have had graduates, whether it be in our certification program, one of our degree programs, or our dual ticket programs, go on to have amazing success. It's really just personalizing that program to you and your hopes and wants. So our avionics program, or aviation electronics program, I simply say the best way to describe it, it is the brains of the aircraft. Navigation, communications, radar systems, flight controls, autopilot. They are fixing, diagnosing problems that have to do with anything of the electronics of the aircraft, a lot of times centralized to the flight deck. So if avionics is the brains of the aircraft, Laura, what is aviation maintenance, and what would an aviation maintenance technician work on the aircraft?
So again, in this slide, you'll see in that certification, there's an airframe and there's a power plant part. The airframe is the sheet metal, welding, composites, hydraulics, and pneumatics. The power plant is any engine, jet, piston, rocket. So again, this is a certification to touch anything basically on this plane, except that inside of that cockpit area is where we have that other actual certification.
And if I say avionics is the brains of the aircraft, and I just mean that because that's the control, aviation maintenance is the brawn of the aircraft, whether it be the engine, whether it be the wings, the landing gear. And our students, a lot of times, they're almost like detectives. And what I mean by that is how a detective figures out a crime of who done it. Our maintenance technicians are figuring out what went wrong, how can I fix it, how can I improve it. I mean, they'll use a borescope, which is a fiber optic camera, to go inside difficult to reach areas of the aircraft and diagnose problems. Not only that, but aircraft are required, regardless if anything has gone wrong, to be inspected and checked and certified as safe to fly by an AMT. So this is not only just repair, it's making sure that the aircraft is absolutely safe in all ways. And that's where our students take a great level of pride in what they do, providing that safety of that flight getting where it's going, whether it be for the passengers, the cargo, anything that it could be involved in. Kind of in our avionics theme, Laura, do you want to share with the group a little bit of a trivia they can play right along with us that I think will shine a light on the avionics side?
Absolutely. The electricity capacity of one 787 can power up to, how many homes do you think it would be? 100, 200, maybe 50 homes? I think you'll be impressed when I show you this next slide.
Laura gave you some guesses. I'm going to ask you to just think it out and play along with us. What is your educated guess? How much is it? And a 787 would be a plane that perhaps you would fly on with your family for vacation. So just to give you a little bit of perspective, how much electricity power goes into bringing that into flight? Because as we know, aircrafts are modern marvels of technology. I mean, at the end of the day, when I jump, I come down. So when humans fly, they defy gravity. They defy the laws of this world, and that's a testament to intelligence and technological design, and a lot goes into it, and that's why our graduates need to be so properly prepared to create this impossible feat and make it possible and safe. So Laura, it is actually 400 homes. The electrical capacity of one 787 can power up to 400 homes. To me, that is mind-blowing and shows how much goes on behind the scenes that we don't necessarily realize for a plane to take flight. So some of the air travel benefits, and I encourage you, never get involved in an industry because of benefits, but it's nice to be appreciated in your craft, to have a skill set that is so unique and specialized that it garnishes not only respect, but some unique benefits. And one of those benefits, if you work for a commercial airline, is discounted or even flying for free. you, your children, your spouse, your parents, discounted passes for your friends. So by all means, you might have a friend from high school reaching out. Oh, it's been a while. I heard you work at American Airlines. I'm going on a trip. Can I get one of those discounted buddy passes? And I share this not because of the aspect of getting something for free, but the immense amount of respect that AMTs draw and the pivotal role they play in our world, which I'll be excited to share a little bit more about with you. So May 24th annually is actually AMT Day, Aviation Maintenance Technician Day, a day specifically set aside to honor the hard work, drive, and dedication of AMTs all over the world in all different sectors, whether it be ensuring a commercial airline takes off and lands safely with its passengers, whether it be ensuring the safe flight of cargo planes to deliver the essential goods that our world needs to go on each day, or something as simple as you looking forward to that package that you ordered, whether it be someone working for Stat Medevac, which one of our PIA alumni, Sam Brisky, has gone on to do, providing medical transport and medical supplies that literally save lives. All different areas. May 24th is the birthday of Charles Taylor, who is the forefather of aviation maintenance because he was actually the mechanic for the Wright brothers. So kind of unique. It's celebrated on May 24th to honor him and his birthday. By all means, he is the foundation that whether it be Chris Hoffman and SpaceX launched this summer, Chris Hoffman now at Astra Aerospace, Lockheed Martin, any of the airlines, all the technology that we benefit from right now could be traced back to this man and his contribution. With that said, Laura, is there any unique way that Charles Taylor and the Wright brothers tie into PIA in our history?
Oh, it's fascinating. In fact, PIA was purchased from the Wright brothers. And what's interesting here is they actually moved the school to Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. I love these old vintage photos. It ended up becoming called the Curtiss Wright Flying Service. These are actual photographs of this first, the school down in Pittsburgh. Also, the other slides that we're going to show here, it shows what went on. And if you notice in our industry till today, you're highly regarded. This is a very neat, organized industry. If you notice, it's a clean industry. We wear, a lot of companies, you wear collared shirts to work. Again, we are noted for solving problems in this industry. This is a neat piece of history here. This is the actual footage of the Wright brothers. This is considered first flight. These men were absolute geniuses, and I know our students from Ohio know where the Wright brothers were from. Again, they were from Dayton, Ohio originally. Also, I want to show you here, these men were above and beyond geniuses. And again, this is considered first flight.
1903, Kitty Hawk, North Carolina, with their personal roots tracing back to Ohio. I love this, Laura, because PIA, we're so proud of our past. And obviously, I'm interested in the Wright brothers and the foundation. We are very excited about our present and the opportunities that we can provide to help fuel this industry into the future. Because it is an industry that the Wright brothers played in 1903. PIA was founded in 1929. A long time, but not really a long time. So I'm as excited for how far we can go from those humble beginnings to the SpaceX launch this summer, some of the amazing aircraft and technology that forms our world today, how far we still have to go. And that's where I put out the challenge to you. Are you someone who's interested in being a part of this amazing story, helping these industries forge forward from those humble beginnings with the Wright brothers to all the opportunities that await us in the near future? With that said, I would love to share with you, we talked about AMTs and the extreme honor that they get within the industry. We talked about an AMT as an aviation maintenance technician, but what exactly does that entail? I think this next depiction might fill in some of the gaps.
When you think of a career as a mechanic, often the first thing that comes to mind is working in an auto shop, doing the repair and maintenance on our everyday vehicles. But what about those vehicles that travel thousands of miles in mere hours, transporting goods and people across the world as part of their everyday commute? Aviation maintenance technicians are the men and women who ensure the safety and reliability of our aircraft each day. Before a plane takes off, an AMT has worked tirelessly to ensure that the aircraft is mechanically safe to fly. By diagnosing mechanical and electrical problems, completing routine inspections, repairing damage to wings, landing gears, and other components, and certifying that aircraft meets the standards set forth by the FAA. This work is led by an elite group of professionals known as AMP mechanics, who train for a minimum of 1,900 hours to understand the complex and unique systems that make up an aircraft, working on planes, jets, drones, blimps, helicopters, or rockets. Their highly specialized skill set makes them sought-after employees, not only in the aviation sector, but in many non-aviation related fields. If you are seeking a career that is fast-paced, challenging, and hands-on, then a career as an aviation maintenance technician might be right for you.
As mentioned by Laura earlier, whether it be planes, jets, drones, helicopters, blimps, rockets, there are so many avenues of aviation that our graduates are qualified to work in and explore. We always use the phrase, if it moves mechanically, our graduates are qualified to work on it. And what I mean by that, our graduates could go on to work on cruise ships. Disney will hire AMTs to work on roller coasters because of the hydraulics and aeronautical aspect, as well as motorsports and different car industries in that aspect. So quite a wide variety that you don't need to know which path you want to walk down right away. Perhaps today inspired you a little bit to think of some, but there is such a wide variety of options because our graduate skills are so widely transferable. And I just said their skills are so widely transferable, but what skills am I talking about that they're going to learn in our PIA education? We saw what it looked like a day in the life at PIA. We saw what an AMT is and does, but what are the skills that qualify them to get them there that they would also learn in their education at PIA? Instead of tell you, I would much rather show you. What I would love to do now, and I'm going to go through this rapid fire because we could talk about this all day. Me and Laura are excited about this industry, but whether it be space exploration that we talked about, the future, flying cars, Uber Elevate. I always say, Google check me, YouTube this if you're interested. GE just invested $100 million this week to flying car technology, kind of creating a new little rivalry with Uber Elevate. These are projects that our graduates, if you came to our school, could potentially work on, as well as the space hotel. What? Yes, you heard that right. A space hotel for regular civilians to go into space and potentially see the Earth from a whole new way. Now, it's currently valued at $250,000. You're an AMT that works on it. You go up for free with a lot of the organizations that have this endeavor in their forefront. But that cost is going to be brought way down, like the first TV was only available to the rich. These will be modern technologies that will shape our future. But what I want to speak on because of these new technologies is the extreme demand for aviation technicians. Right now, 76% are over 50 years old, with 22% 31 to 50, and that tiny green sliver under 30 years old. So what we need is the next generation of aviation maintenance technicians to come in and help these industries work and forge forward into the future. These are some projections by Boeing on jobs roughly over the next 18 years available all over the world for AMTs. So Laura, very quickly, if I could toss over to you, could you quickly speak on, we have about 5 minutes, our graduation employment statistics and our career services?
Absolutely, absolutely. Please notice these statistics here. Again, I just want to point out Youngstown, 100%. What does that mean? 43 out of 43. 43 students graduated, 43 of our students that graduated are working with their airframe power plant certification. They are working in the field. Again, you know, these are all different careers also. I have a question here that asked me, do I have to stay in the aeronautic industry? Absolutely not. In Ohio, Cedar Point hires our graduates. When you're stepping on, you know, those type of rides, again, they have to be certified. So our A&P technicians work at Cedar Point, at Disney World. Also the railroad, Otis Elevators hires from our school. What's the beauty of PIA? I told you I'm a mom with 2 children. Show me the jobs in the industries that you're going into. I will tell you our career services is outstanding. This is for lifetime. You could call at any time after you graduate. You could call and say, you know, I'm interested in looking at this area, or I want to go to this state. What's available? And this is part of being an alumni of PIA. So again, while you're in school, we help you write those resumes. We do the mock interviews. We get you ready for interviewing. But I will tell you this, you have to actually go out and interview for the job. We can't. So again, we will get you ready. We will prepare you. We do a beautiful career fair at our school. And again, we're always bringing in the employers. And I always tell the students, please take 5 minutes and go ask about that company. You might not want to move there, but it's nice to find out what are they offering. Cargo, right now cargo is it. And you know this because of COVID. Everybody is ordering online. All that aircraft has to be repaired, certified. The next steps right now, please go to pia.edu/learn more. But take your phone, and again, that URL code, if you're interested in a tour, interested in an open house, or just interested in more information, we'll get it to you. Any other questions, Brandon, right now?
No questions. What I would love to add, one of our coworkers, his son actually worked for Republic and now looks after the elevator in the governor's mansion. So you want to talk about highly transferable skills. The paths are truly endless, and you can go on pia.edu/career services and actually track our graduates. I shared with you some alumni spotlights, but to see where graduates are working all over the country in the wide variety of paths. So I truly want the best and brightest future for all of you, and I think that happens by exploring your options. Hopefully today we were able to paint a picture of PIA and the paths that we can provide. Like Laura said, pia.edu/learn more. You'll see a drop-down menu. You can select today's event, Strive Scan OACAC, with today's date, and it'll give you an opportunity to request more information so we can reach out and extend that invitation to open house, virtual or in person, to a socially distanced personal tour. Not only a requirement to enroll in PIA to tour our facility, but a great way to truly determine and see the larger than life aircraft that you would be working on in our program. With that said, as we close out time today, we are here to facilitate futures. If anything that I or Laura said today sparked a level of interest in you, I think you owe it to yourself to explore this path that can not only provide for you a great financial future, but hopefully you can find enjoyment in your employment, a career that you're excited to work in and grow in. And with the demand we spoke of, there are so many opportunities. With that said, I will pass back over to Michael to close us out. Thank you so much to ScribeScan and OACAC for providing this opportunity and platform today.
Thank you, Brandon.
Are you with us, Michael? Well, I can tell you from doing these events in the past, what Michael would say to us is there's a short survey you can take that StriveScan would love for you to, oh, there he is.
Sorry everyone, these slides were not working with me, but thank you for joining us, everyone. You can take a quick survey after ending this call, and please sign up for more sessions at OACAC.org, and this report will be available at that same site. So thank you for joining us, and have a great rest of your night.
Thank you. Good luck in all you do.
Thanks.